If you're driving through Oakland County this weekend, you'll need to find your way around I-75 as it's closed. Both directions of I-75 are closed from 8 Mile to Square Lake Road. Italy's government has announced a lockdown of over 16 million people in several regions, including Milan, Italy's business center. No one will be able to leave or enter the region for weeks. In southeast China, at least 7 people are dead after a hotel being used as a coronavirus quarantine center collapses. It's about 600 miles from Wuhan, the center of the virus's outbreak. A woman is killed after being hit by a DDOT bus on Detroit's west side. It happened last night on West Outer Drive near Asbury Park. One witness tells us the woman was walking across the street. A nurse assistant for Beaumont Hospital saw what happened and jumped in to try to help her. Michigan is in the political spotlight this weekend. Our primary is on Tuesday, and the Democratic candidates are working to win votes. Bernie Sanders will be making another 2 stops today in his fight to beat Joe Biden. Sanders will be making stops in Grand Rapids and Ann Arbor today. He then will make a stop in Flint on Monday. Kerry has endorsed Biden. He says Biden would be good for Michigan because of his record of getting things done with infrastructure and trade. Today is International Women's Day, and there are plenty of events being held to push female empowerment. Women Run Detroit is holding its first ever event at the Eastern Inn, Detroit at 4 with speakers talking about gender equality. Still ahead on Local 4 News today. It's the only one of its kind in all of North America, and it's right here in Detroit. Take a special look inside Belle Isle's Livingstone Memorial Lighthouse in today's Uniquely Detroit. It's a ghost town now, with signs saying the mall at Partridge Creek is temporarily closed because of COVID-19, making the financials here even more dire. The property is owned by Starwood Retail Partners, and according to TREP LLC, 4 of its properties are underwater, including Partridge. Starwood has defaulted on a $725 million mortgage, and with the coronavirus shutdown, even less money is coming in. But Neil Sater, a bankruptcy attorney at the Sater Law Firm, says it's very unusual for a mall to file a bankruptcy.
Typically, if there is a mortgage that is in default and in arrears, and if the borrower, in this case the mall owner, is unable to make payments on that, the banks, a good option for many banks or institutional investors is to have a receiver appointed.
So, will this mall remain? Sater says it's unlikely that the entire mall would close or shutter.
On an open air mall that's approximately, less than 15 years old, I would tell you that it's very unlikely that there's going to be any type of, a complete razing of the mall or destruction of the mall and a total, reformulation of that mall where buildings are destroyed and new facades or new buildings are built.
Revenue coming in is also an issue, with Nordstrom's closing last year and Carson's closing the year before that, meaning there's no guaranteed reliable source of income anymore. Edward Goodman, a bankruptcy attorney at Goodman & Associates, states retail in general is not what it used to be.
There's probably not going to be a lot of mega malls built, but these mega malls, given people's propensity to shop online right now, I'd say they're in trouble. And I don't know that anybody would be financing large regional malls. This COVID-19 situation is going to have a major impact on how people think about going shopping. They're going to maybe be more prone to go to the internet and have stuff ordered on. And this is a problem that's been developing long before COVID-19.
In Clinton Township, Joseph Ferguson. Yeah, Megan. The SARS-CoV-2 virus and COVID-19 infection are primarily a respiratory problem. But when an individual coughs or sneezes, infected droplets are expelled and land on nearby surfaces. If you touch those surfaces, the virus can be picked up on your hands and infect you when you touch your face. That basic principle has not changed, but what the CDC has done is change the emphasis for the most common source of the spread. This is the exact wording from the current CDC information page. The virus is thought to spread mainly from person to person between people who are in close contact with one another within about 6 feet, through respiratory droplets produced when an infected person coughs, sneezes, or talks. These droplets can land in the mouths or noses of people who are nearby or possibly be inhaled into the lungs. COVID-19 may be spread by people who are not not showing symptoms. Now, this person-to-person spread has always been considered the main way the virus spreads. Regarding the spread through contact with contaminated surfaces, this is the current CDC information. It may be possible that a person can get COVID-19 by touching a surface or object that has the virus on it, and then touching their own mouth, nose, or possibly their eyes. This is not thought to be the main way the virus spreads, but we are still learning more about this virus. They go on to say ways to slow the spread include maintaining good social distance, wash your hands often with soap and water, and if soap and water are not available, use a hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol, and routinely clean and disinfect frequently touched surfaces. Now, the bottom line is that this does not suggest that surface contamination is unimportant, but what it does say is that person-to-person transmission through droplets or aerosols from talking, I would add, are the most important thing to be aware of to reduce the spread. And I would add that the CDC website still says that you should wash your hands after handling your mail or packages. Back to you. They're everywhere online right now as for debt consolidation companies. They're trying to get your attention because they know millions of people are struggling financially. But tonight, I have an important warning for you before you sign up. They're out there online everywhere right now. Debt consolidation companies and websites offering a helping hand. But before you sign up online, beware.
The scammers professionally, that's what they do. They practice, wait, and then all of a sudden when something like this comes along, they jump in and take advantage of it.
Financial expert Tom Hakeem says while there are some legitimate companies out there, there are also scammers who are looking just to get your personal information. Do your homework.
You should Google, look up these companies. They do a great job of telling you, which ones are scam or scam alert. You could call your local news. All the local news stations have people that are looking at this kind of thing all the time, and see if they have any information. What you need to talk to people who have basically, if you can, talk to people who have used different companies, and if they can recommend it, what their experience was. Because all those factors are going to be extremely important in making your final decision.
And remember, just because you're given a great introductory low rate, that doesn't always mean it stays that low for the life of the loan. Beware of the bait and switch. It's happening now more than ever before.
The old say, it is what it is. If it sounds too good, it is. The opening rate, the not having to pay for the furniture for 4 years until you can't use it anymore, then you start paying outrageous interest rates. People market, and to market, you want to get people's attention, and you get their attention by talking low numbers.
I'll put more information from our financial expert, not only on this potential problem, but also many issues regarding financial problems and COVID-19, and some scams that are out there as well. I'll put everything you need to know on the advice page on josephfergusonnews.com. Reporting live, I'm Joseph Ferguson. Ask Joe.